Dang it, dang it, dang it. I was so close to finishing my video and I accidentally stopped it. So I have to finish the story I was talking about. So I was signing my book to give to the author, right? I was thankful that she wanted my book and had written that she was excited to read it and can't wait. So I'm signing my book, and if anyone knows me, I am very particular. My handwriting is very fancy. Um, a lot of times people can't write it because it's too fancy, but I'm very particular with the words, the letters, how I write, the pens, all of that. Because not that it has to be perfect, but it needs to be perfect-ish, right? So I'm signing the book, I'm sitting in a chair, and there are chairs. I'm in a row of chairs that are single. So, I'm not attached to anybody. It's just a chair here, one next to me. And then it's a row behind me that has chairs as well. So it's a guy that sees someone on the other side of the room. And so he's telling someone, oh, there's such and such, let me go over there. So he walks that way. Now, mind you, we've been in this conversation about race, about whiteness, and not meaning white people, but whiteness as how white people feel that they own everything and that we're just invading their space for the most part. And when the author talked about this, she used the example of how all that we've seen in the media in the past about women who would call the police on men because they're like, hey, I don't think you live in this building. I have never seen you here. When the person actually does live in the building. And this person felt that she had the right to question because white people has typically owned everything, right? So this is different. And but the thing is that white people don't recognize that this is an issue. And I'm not saying no, I'm generalizing, right? But the reality of it is that it happens a lot, more than I would like to know. But nonetheless, we've had this discussion. We've talked about how black women are devalued because I talked about the Serena thing and all of that. We talked about the invisibility of the black women. I'm sitting there signing my book. This man walks by and bumps the heck out of my chair. I mean, not just a little tap, but one that moved my chair. And I mean, I'm not a little girl, right? I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh, but I'm just saying I'm not little. So for him to do that, he had to hit the chair pretty hard. So I put the pen down, I look back, and he's just gone. Like he didn't turn back around, he didn't say, excuse me, he didn't say anything. And I'm thinking to myself, like, did he not just hear what was said? And probably didn't realize what he had done. No, if you bump somebody that hard, you know to say excuse me for at least, right? But because he didn't value who I was or respect the person I was, he didn't feel that he needed to say it. So I finished my book, and you would be proud of me because I did not go up to this man. However, I looked at him for a long time as he looked at me to let him know that you were wrong for that. Like that was just totally rude and disrespectful. And to not even say excuse me. Okay, I'm back. I was just having a moment going back to that in my head because it gets old. It really does. It really does. And I remember the sad part of this is, as I say this out loud, is that I'm reminded of this young lady that I helped write a book. She was a junior in high school, and so I let her go through or I gifted her my 10-week writing program, and my only requirement was that she finish the book, right, in the 10 weeks, and she did. Now this is a junior in high school, and her book was on the invisibility of the Black woman. This is somebody that's 16 who recognizes this already, which is shameful. It's shameful. But, this is the life that we live in. And I can tell you this. It was this one part where they asked questions. And so, in order to answer, you had to text a certain number. So it said, what is your identity? Like, what do you identify with? Meaning, like, your race or whatever. Like, if you're Irish, American, if you're whatever, right? And someone, people were putting, my Black is beautiful, right? Or I'm proud to be Black. I mean, it's like, it's one of those things that I wouldn't change who I am for anything. Like, I love being a Black person, I love being a Black woman. But it really does bother me that we are at the bottom. We are at the bottom. And with everything that we've gone through, so, it's one of those things, and I know a lot of you have experienced this too, that when people talk about slavery and saying that happened a long time ago, why is it still affecting people? Like, it's because it's passed down from generation to generation to generation. That trauma is deep. It's deep. And the reality of it is that the slavery is not gone, right? It's just a new slavery. That's called prisons. Or as is her name Claudia? Claudia. As she said, prison industrial complexes. Because that's what it is, right? It's an industry. And we know that they're getting free labor out of the people who are there. Or low wage, because they say that they pay people a little bit or something. But yeah. It was pretty deep. I'm going to go because I am delirious. I didn't get home. I didn't eat until, it was like, I just finished eating, put it that way. And we're in the 10 o'clock hour. So, but it was really deep. And I'm glad that I decided to go because I really was not going to go because I was tired. I was hungry, and the weather, it just was raining. It was a lot of rain out there, but I was like, no, pressure way there because you want to hear. I didn't know who she was. Someone at the library just told me that you should go see her. And I was like, okay. And now she has my book and she's going to read it, hopefully. But yeah. So anyway, if you want to, here's her name again. There, I can't see. There we go. Now I got to get that. Citizen and American Lyric, Claudia Rankine. I don't know. I'm messing up her last name, but I'm looking forward to reading it. And it's not that thick, but what I do like about that is that it has, like, ever so often it has some pictures, right? So this one, it says, I do not always feel colored. I do not always feel colored. I do not always feel colored. And then the next page says, I feel most colored when I'm thrown against a white sharp background. And of course, I don't know what all of this is from, but we can tell what the age or the time frame being that they're saying colored. So I'm looking forward to reading her book of poetry. And it's just pictures throughout, so it's really nice. But I'm looking forward to reading this and getting a little bit more into her mind and her thought process. But I was really intrigued. And what I loved about this even more is that it was a very diverse crowd, right? Like, I love when we all can come together as one and recognize we are all one. And hopefully one day we'll respect each other as we're all one. So, all right, that is it. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.